All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Free. I'm Ryan. I'm the pastor and executive director here. This is Carrie. She's our associate executive director here at Free. And welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you joining us online. Maybe you're in a living room by yourself tonight or with friends, or maybe you're in a sober living home or treatment center, or maybe you're just like, oh, a group of people in Chicago might be joining us tonight because you know Free Chicago's launching this fall, very soon. I can't wait. Good to be with you all tonight. This is a community for addicts, loved ones of addicts, and spiritual refugees. And what we do here at Free is break the silence of addiction and create space for healing, recovery, and spiritual connection. And as always, there is one thing we don't do in this community. Y'all can shout it out. All 4 words. If you're at home in your living room, shout it out in a really creepy way. All 4 words on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We don't do shame. Speaking of not doing shame, raise your hand if you were here at the Recovery Resource Fair on Thursday. Oh my goodness, if you missed it, you really missed out on like a huge party here. It was so, y'all, it was so cool to have 50 plus, I think we had 56 organizations come and represent. We had tables set everywhere in this entire building. I think we had 500-ish people roam through, and to see the recovery community come together and to see how just the amount of resources, how vast it is. Such a powerful thing to be a part of. Carrie said last service that was the first annual one, which means next year is coming, and it's going to be so fun. We had a DJ up here. So when I'm saying a party, we had a party here.
Well, and it's pretty impressive, too, because I think there was only a few in here, but this place was packed all day. So we reached a bunch of people who had never been here before either. So it's pretty cool.
It was a cool event. All right, Carrie's going to tell you some events that are coming up. She's going to go really fast tonight because there's a lot of them, and she's just going to tell you along the way to check the website.
Yes, so buckle up, friends. I am going to go fast like a fast little flight attendant. So here we go. First and foremost, if you are new here, we would love to get connected with you. So please, just outside of these doors, we have some welcome bags. Inside the welcome bags, you'll find some fresh roasted wagon coffee. And you will also find a Connect card, which I will be referring to several times because I want you to sign up for our newsletter to get all of these details that I'm going to kind of brush over. So first up, we have Sober Open Mic. That is going to be on March 27th. You can register for free. It's just a way for them to track their numbers. That's how they get their funding. That's how they get their grants. So please register either to perform or to just show up. You can find that on our website and also on our app under events. Next, we have our Grounded Warrior retreat on March 30th, also on our website, also on our socials. You can find all of that information. It's $111. Maggie is facilitating that. She's the one who does our yoga on Saturday mornings and Monday evenings. Next, we have a new series that's coming. I will be co-facilitating with a Denver Seminary student. We're going to do attachment in recovery. So I don't know if you guys know what attachment styles are, but this is a high-level overview of how attachments affect everything in recovery, how we connect with our friends, coworkers, how we connect with our loved ones, and even how we connect with our higher power. You do not have to come to every single one, although I would personally love you to, but you can come. You don't have to go to all of them, but it's a wonderful kind of high-level introductions to attachment styles. It is completely free. It'll be on Saturdays from 2 to 4 in the prayer and meditation room, and just show up.
Carrie let us know last service that her attachment style is...
I'm an avoidant, so emotions are not my thing. So you fellow avoidants, come and learn how to attach to humans, and we can learn this together.
That got dark.
It did, but that's all right. We can laugh at ourselves in recovery. Next, we have the Second Chance Comedy. We've done this one time before here. This is a fundraiser that is going to support, these are all professional comedians. So I know we usually don't charge for events here. This one's a unique exception. These are professional comedy, or comedians. Funny people. Thank you, Darren. And it's $25. Proceeds will support Sobriety House as well as free Second Chance Comedy. More information on their website, our website, and on both of our socials. Next, the tech team is still in need of help. So if anyone has any interest in getting involved, they really do not need to know a lot. They're wonderful gentlemen, and they can teach you pretty much everything you need to know. And they're really nice guys, so it's a great way to be of service, make some friends, get connected, and be of service. And then I'm going to stop now. I'm going to ask my friend Darren to come up to finish
Darren
this.
Valdez is, thank you, Carrie. Yes. Darren is the founder and executive director of Colorado Artists in Recovery. Tell us about the art show coming up on April 4th.
Yes, thank you very much. On Friday, April 4th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in the cafe and the hallways here, we're going to have over 20 artists in recovery showing their work. These are all participants of our program, Colorado Artists in Recovery. They're very excited to show you their work, and we would like to have as many people in recovery, anybody, all allies, family members. This is an all-ages event. It'll be in the cafe. We'll have free wagon coffee. We'll have a little live performances from some of our participants. It's going to be a really wonderful event, and that's the first Friday in April from 5 to 8 in the cafe. It's free registration. If you want to go to our website, coloradoartistinrecovery.org, you can sign up for your free tickets or just show up, but we'd love to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Always a great event. Lots of fun. Hope y'all come out to it. I have one more thing I want to say to this community before we get into celebrations. And I let the last service know this too. You know, we had a bit of an incident here at Free this week. We had a guy stay in after hours after we closed down, and he hid somewhere. And well, you know how it is in active addiction. If you've been there, which is many of us, and some messes were made. I'll leave it at that. But here's why I want to tell you that. This is the thing I love about this community. I can't tell you how many people have called this place home. Some of the people who call this place home, you're never going to see on a Saturday night. They say, hey, the service thing, that's not for me. But they come to meetings here, or they hang out in the cafe, and they're just as much us as you are us and as I am us. And they call this place home. They call this community their people. They care for this space. I bring that to your attention to say, we had a board meeting this afternoon. We are going to take extra precautions from our end, and I will keep you in the loop with that. But I also want you, because this is our home. In fact, when Tammy and I started this, we never referred to it as, oh, this is ours, meaning mine and Tammy's. It was always ours collective. And I know this is a place of transformation. Recovery happens here. I believe God is all over this stuff. I was telling my 9-year-old son last night as I was putting him to bed, because I had to come here later last night because of one of those incidences that we had. And when I was tucking him in, he looks at me and he says, Poppy, are you scared? And you know how sometimes you lie to your kids without even thinking about it? And I said, no, I'm not scared. And the truth is, it raises some fears. It like raises your red flags. And then I kind of got honest with him, and I said, buddy, you know what? The truth is, I believe God protects this space. And I don't mean this space as just a building. I mean what happens in this space of recovery and healing and spiritual connection and transformation, and the things that happen here, the miracles. Because y'all, look at yourselves, just a bunch of miracles sitting here, the miracles that happen on a daily basis here. And so when you see something that looks out of place, when you see something where you say, man, that don't look right, what he or she is doing, or what that thing over there, that don't look right, feel free to speak. This is your home. Man, this is your place. This is your people, your community. Let's protect it together. It's just as much yours as it is mine. So take a picture of that thing that looks out of place and bring it to a staff member, or go grab a cafe member, someone working behind the coffee shop, and say, hey, there's something you need to be aware of. And what I know is, for things to keep working, we've all got to be in it together. And y'all, we've done that since day one, and I'm really grateful for it. It is such an honor to be a part of this community. So if you see it out of place, please be the one to speak up, be the one to speak out. And that's what we'll do. We'll do it together. Thank you all for letting me say that. Now we can go to, and if you have any questions, by the way, you can come talk to me. We can go to celebrations, because it's how we start on Saturday nights. We start with the good. We lift up the good. Maybe you're here tonight celebrating a sobriety anniversary, or a birthday, or a new job, a new home, new babies, new whatever the new thing is in your life of recovery. We celebrate it all here. We take 3 minutes for this. Cody will pass around a mic. Colin will pass around a mic. Just slip up your hand. Give us the good stuff. If you're online, drop your celebrations in the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, and we will celebrate with you there. Let's take 3 minutes, and this time is yours.
Hi, good evening. I'm Jeffrey. I'm celebrating 4 months of sobriety today.
I am Cody. I have 6 months of sobriety. Hi, my name is Keon, and I'm celebrating 2.5 years of sobriety.
My name's Derek. Me and Lex, my sponsor, just picked up the keys for our new sober living, which will be open next week so we can help other guys in recovery. So that's pretty cool.
Hi, my name is Marjorie, and I just celebrated 11 months.
My name is Emily, and I am celebrating 90 days.
Hi, my name's Dustin. This is my first time here, but I'm celebrating 1 week recovery, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm Colin. I was just standing up and realizing I am really and truly happy to be alive. Not surviving, I'm happy to be alive. Yeah.
Anyone else? You got time for one more? If there's like this burning desire out there that you just got to get this celebration out. See, I knew there was one. There it is.
I'm Rachel. This is my first time here, but I'm celebrating 9 years of sobriety.
All right, Rachel, happy 9 years.
Welcome home.
And welcome to Free. We're glad you're here. Make yourself at home. Thank you, Cody. And, Cody, you want to join me up here? Man, where'd you get that sweatshirt? That's cool. Oh, you got it here. That's cool. That's cool. I said earlier, I reminded the 5 o'clock people, so many people have been asking for merch. They want us to send it to them, and I've had to just keep saying no because we don't have the capacity for that. But our online merch store is now open, so if you want that hoodie, I believe that one is online. If you just click on the shop merch, there's my plug for the evening. How's that?
Yeah, I got to stay off there because I'll spend too much money.
Yeah, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. We need you healthy. All right, let's join our online people. You could take the first one, then I'll go.
All right. I think that's Frito or Fredo.
Yep.
Fredo. Hello, good evening. Today I'm celebrating 3 months, 17 free from fentanyl, coming from Elevate Recovery.
Elevate Recovery. Way to go, Fredo. Proud of you, dude. Fredo's getting baptized. So is Cody in a couple weeks. They're going to get in the warm water in the wagon.
Nice. It's going to be warm.
It's going to be beautiful. We got 20 people for that, man.
Awesome.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Kayla says, celebrating that I survived a tough day at work and being 324 days sober. Way to go, Kayla. 3 true 4. And congratulations for surviving that tough day.
Emily is celebrating. I've been praying for you, free community, from the beginning, and I am grateful to finally make it online tonight. Blessings to you all from the fellow traveler.
ACA, there you go. Emily, a friend and colleague of ours, and good to have you here, Emily. We're celebrating it. Jen Deckard says, retired from FedEx on 2/17 after 27 years with the company. Not sure where my feet will land next, but know as long as I am sober and stay in recovery and remain in faith, anything and all is possible. God is good and always faithful. We will lift that up and congratulate to you, Jen. Glad you're joining us tonight. I think it's Maisha.
Maisha, here we go. Maisha is celebrating. I'm under the weather, but I'm 53 days sober today.
Happy 53 days. Congratulations. Robin says, I finished another semester of school. I have 8 weeks till I graduate. All right, Robin, congratulations early to you.
Angie is celebrating. Hi, I'm from Arizona. Today I'm celebrating 20 months clean and sober.
Way to go, Angie. Congratulations. We have a lot of people celebrating tonight, all kinds of stuff. Vicky says, I'm happy Brett has 7 years. I'm happy for that too, Vicky. Happy 7 years, Brett. Congratulations, buddy. Hey, thanks, Cody. Thanks for being up here. All right, y'all, we're gonna shift gears a little bit here, though not too much, because our special guest is an Enneagram 7, for those of you that know the Enneagram. So, yeah, there's your sevens. They're out there. Hey, guys, I can't wait for you to meet my dear friend and colleague, Reverend Claire McNulty-Drewes, who's here with the family tonight. Let me just say a few things about Claire. Claire and I have been colleagues for a while now. We've done some things together. Last year, we did a cohort, 9 months. Carrie and I were leading this. It was called Launching and Leading a Recovery Community. Claire was part of that. I've been married to Joel for 30 years. They have 3 boys together. Claire loves horses. If you follow her on social media, you're going to see her riding horses and jumping horses. Is that what they call it? Jumping horses? Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Here's what you should really know about her, though. Claire and her family have been tuning into Free online on Saturdays for the past 3 years. Claire has been an early supporter of Free from the very early days when we started 6 years ago. Early supporter of Wagon Coffee. She's the pastor up in Longmont, at Heart of Longmont United Methodist Church, and she serves Wagon Coffee at that church. So if you go there, you're going to get some good coffee and meet someone really cool. But they've been tuning in for a while, and Will, their son, is here tonight, 23 years old, 2.5 years sober. And I'll say more about that when we get to the guest storyteller portion, but I've invited Claire to come give us a word from the ACA. She's an ACA, or Adult Children of Alcoholics, participates in the group ACA and Al-Anon. For those of you that are aware of Al-Anon, I said, come please give us a word surrounding all of that and Will's sobriety and what that's been like for you, and close this series. So help me welcome my friend, Pastor Claire.
Life twists and it turns, it zigs and it zags. Some days you'll race forward, some days you'll lag. Recovery's wobbly, it loops and it bends, with ups and downs, but hope never ends. Some days you'll be soaring, so high in the sky. Other days crawling, just getting by. But step after step, oh the places you'll see, when you open your heart and let life simply be. Embrace the adventure, the highs and the lows, for when you choose recovery, or the places you'll go.
Well, it was this month 3 years ago, and we live on a horse farm. As he said, I could talk about horses forever, but I won't do that. Oh, is it not on?
It's just pulled up.
Oh, is it? Let's see. Is that good? That better? Is that good? Good back there? Are we good? Okay. I'll start over. It was this month 3 years ago, and we live on a horse farm, and I was just doing all the chores and had just found my way. It was a beautiful March day. Just found my way back inside, and I sat down on our couch, and I got a call from my son, Will. At the time, he was at CSU. He was a sophomore at CSU, and he said, "Hey, Mom, are you home? I need to come and talk to you." I was home, and I said, "Sure, honey, come on, come home, come down." He's just 35 minutes from there, and he walked in and sat down next to me on the couch that day. I'll never forget that day because he said words that my husband and I had been hoping we would hear for several years. He said, "I need help. I'm an alcoholic." And that began the journey to where we are today. For anyone who thinks the journey of recovery is a straight line, I'd love to be in your shoes. Because from that day to today, his recovery and our recovery as a family looks more like this. People ask me all the time as a loved one, especially as a loved one of a young adult who chose this journey of recovery at the age of 20, that they ask me, what has it been like? And I always find it so hard to put in words. I say things like, it's been painful, it's been beautiful, it's been incredibly brutal. It's been heartbreakingly beautiful. It's been helpless. It's been hopeless. It's been inspiring. It's been incredibly difficult, all wrapped into one. And yet, I would not trade it for the world. Well, I wear many hats here tonight. As Ryan said, I'm a United Methodist pastor, and I just want to begin by extending a huge thank you and gratitude for Ryan for inviting Will and I to come and tell our story. I'm a child of an alcoholic, and as I grew up, I carry in my bones the reality of the emotional system of an alcoholic family. As a young adult, when Joel and I were soon married and began our own family, I created these false messages. I don't know if anyone else does that, hoping that if only I did the right things, none of my children would have to battle the disease that at least 4 generations of my family had battled. You know, messages like, if I just stay at home with the boys and if I'm a stay-at-home parent, there's no way they'll battle addiction. If I make dinner every night, which I'm a terrible cook, by the way, but if I make dinner every night and make these 3 feral humans sit at the table and eat, there's no way that any of them will battle addiction. If I get them into sports, if I take them to youth group, if I only never allow liquor in the home at all, never will my children battle addiction. Of course, all of these false messages are things that I've had to come to understand about myself. And with the help of my faith and an amazing therapist, I now understand I don't control any of my children's choices around alcohol or substances as much as I wanted to. And I continue today with my own journey of healing. And the hat that I wear with most pride tonight is that I am a parent of a child in recovery. And I want to share with you tonight from that perspective, because I hope if you are a loved one, you will hear some of your story in mine. I mean, I'd like to say that as someone who's essentially been in therapy my whole life, that this journey has been one of emotional maturity with few tears and no raising of voices and these deep, meaningful conversations to get us to where we are today. But trust me when I say we have made so many mistakes. See, when Will was in high school, we noticed that his social drinking was different. And he'd go into his room sometimes as early as 2 o'clock, and he'd come out with what we knew he was drunk, although he would never admit it. Our therapist finally confronted my husband and me and asked, "Why do you ask him if he's drunk? If you know, just state the truth. Alcoholics carry so much shame. And my Lord, they are the best liars. One day after an afternoon of skiing, we came home, my husband and me, to a very drunk Will. And once again, the dance started. You know the one. We'd say to him, "You've been drinking," of which he was terribly offended by our accusation. And always, tears, fear, yelling would escalate. That date was one of our worst, one that we can now laugh about, but trust me, there was no laughter that day. My husband, who was desperate to try to understand what was really happening, was searching everywhere, and finally he found it, that bottle of vodka. And so through fury and absolute fear and complete terror, he didn't know what to do. And so he did what any mature parent would do in that circumstance. He took the bottle of vodka, he opened it, he dumped it on Will's head, and then threw it at him. Or in another moment of exacerbation, where I caught him drunk once again, I decided at the age of 15, maybe, just maybe, taking him to an open AA meeting would be the answer. For me, ACOA, Al-Anon had been such an important part of my story. Well, apparently, for a young 15-year-old, an open AA meeting was not the answer. In fact, it really sort of traumatized him in the moment. See, there is this dance in an alcoholic family system. There's an incident that happens. Sometimes it escalates to screaming tears. Other times my husband would hide from even telling me what was happening. He would keep the secret. Secrets are so powerful in an alcoholic system. And then somehow we would continue the dance, and it would happen again. On that day 3 years ago, something was different. And while it's been messy and painful and still full of so many tears, Will was finally ready to face the disease that he came by so honestly and to choose life. I often joke that if I were to get a tattoo, it would be of the scripture from Deuteronomy 30:19. I place before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life. Around Will's 1 year of sobriety, he decided to run a half marathon. Now you have to understand, this is the same kid who in 6th grade came home and he had decided that day, and by the way, he tried out for basketball. He decided to try out for basketball, and he tried out in Crocs. And he came home and he made the basketball team. Will has always been an incredible athlete, and he came home and he said, "Mom, I made the basketball team, but I am not playing." And I said, "Why? This is great as an Enneagram 7, another party for us to go to and fun sporting event." And he said, "Mom, do you know how much running you have to do in basketball?" So here he is, 1 year sober and running. We lined the finish line that day to cheer him on. I want you to take a look.
Good job, Willie!
That's my voice. It was so much more than running that we were cheering for. With tears running down my cheeks, I watched as my son chose life. The Dr. Seuss book that you've been looking at, Oh, the Places You'll Go, says you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the one who will decide where you'll go. Oh, the places you'll go. There's a great line in a Zach Bryan poem that says, if I'm lucky enough, I will get through hard things, and they will make me gentle to the ways of the world. In many ways, I believe each one of you here who has chosen a path of recovery, as messy and crazy and wild as it may be, you have your own superpower. So the places you'll go toward the places that are life-giving and choose a life that really is life. You'll choose community because you know you cannot get through the world without each other. You'll be some of the most compassionate people in our world, and we all know that the world desperately needs compassion. And you will tell your stories in the places you'll go, and that will change others, and by that it'll also change the world. You are so strong. Contrary to how many may view those with the disease of addiction, there are few people who I consider stronger than those who have gone through the tumult of active addiction and found the strength to ask for help, to seek recovery, and to thrive in a life of sobriety. You are my heroes. C.S. Lewis says this: you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. See, recovery takes power and focus and a hell of a lot of work. And I can't say that at my church on Sunday morning. But you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. So choose to walk toward recovery. Choose life. Avi Kaplan says it best in this song that you'll hear: you are only getting started.
Claire, you know what I love so much? I consider it a great honor to be able to introduce this community to new songs and new music. And I'd never heard that before. You introduced me to it. So thank you. What a beautiful song that is. Yeah. Thank you for being with us tonight, Claire. We are transitioning a bit because if you're new with us, you should know that every single Saturday night from the very beginning, we've had a storyteller in the house to join us in the living room to share some of their experience, strength, and hope around the subject, to share their story with us. It's been a beautiful thing to hear from, I don't know, you do the math over 6 years. What is that, 200? I'm not a mathematician. I'm not even going to guess, but someone can tell me later. Anyway, Will, who you just heard some about, is here to share his story. You know what's fascinating about Will? Will is 23 years old. Will got sober when he was 20 years old. The drinking legal age is what, 21 years old. Will got sober when many of us, including myself, were just getting started. And man, the places you'll go, dude. So I've invited Will to come share his story of recovery. But as we were talking over the past couple weeks, and I was meeting with Will and Claire, and I was going to interview Will, and it was very clear to me, it's like, whoa. Maybe we just need to have Mom ask the questions, and it's going to be beautiful. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So help me welcome Will and Claire back up to the living room.
Can everyone hear me all right? My name is Will, and I'm coming up on 3 years of sobriety.
So, Will, I'm curious if you would just share a little bit about your early drinking, and then especially, I've really messed this up. It is on. Okay, is that good? Can you hear me better now? How's that? Good enough? I'll talk loud. Is that good? Okay. So I'm curious if you would just share about your early drinking when you were finally found yourself at that point where I shared 3 years ago where you came and asked for help.
Yeah, so my story with alcohol kind of starts in middle school, around 6th grade. I would just kind of go out, sneak out for the most part, find which friends would have the best houses to go to where we could access the alcohol. But then we'd sneak out and kind of just experiment. And so around 6th grade, I started to realize, I like the feeling of being drunk. But the issue was always access. I could never really get it, and I was still really young, didn't really know what was going on. So that progressed into high school, started playing football a little more competitively, and I still just really enjoyed to drink, go out and party. It's what high schoolers would do, experiment and just have a good time. So I continued to do that, and it was more of an experimentation phase until I got my fake ID. And the fake ID was just an open door to access to basically whatever I wanted, at least alcohol-wise. And so I got my fake, and I was now throwing all the parties. People were asking me to buy alcohol, and I started drinking a lot more and partying a lot more. But I was young, 18 at the time, so I was like, this is what young people do. They enjoy their life, and go out and drink. And so went on to college, same thing continued, and it just kept building off of itself. And now I'm playing football at CSU. And that was a big time commitment and dedication, but I still found myself drinking very consistently. And I would drink a pint of vodka one night and show up at 5:30 a.m. and we'd run like 80 sprints that morning. I have no idea how the hell I did it. But I loved drinking and just wanted to continue to drink every night. And drinking wasn't directly what got me off of the football team, but I think it had to do something with it, because then I got kicked off the team, and it just snowballed even further. I continued to drink heavily. I would drink by myself. I would take 10 shots before the pregame to the party, where you go to get drunk before the party. And that was when, it was about a year of that, I felt kind of lost with no more sports, no more structure. I had so much time. And my drinking just continued to spiral. And I was lying consistently. I told, God, probably 30 lies every day. And over a year of that, it just really, really built up just heavy shame and heavy guilt that I'm lying to everybody. I'm not telling them who I truly am. I've got a big problem, was a big thing. I'm the problem. I have an issue. And that's when I realized I need to make a change in my life. And I don't know what it was. It wasn't a specific event, but I just think it was a buildup of shame. And by the grace of God, one night I was drunk as can be, but something clicked, and I said, I need to reach out. I need to tell my family and start this recovery journey, which I had no idea what it looked like at the time.
Yeah. And you did, because then you came when we talked with you, and then at that point you went to outpatient for 3 months. It was 3 months of outpatient. Where at
North Point.
At North Point. Tell me about that experience. You were one of the things I remember, because it was out. You would come home every day, and you would be like, "I'm 20, and everyone's 45 or 38." So what was it like at first as a 20-year-old?
It was extremely intimidating, for sure. It was a whole new world, you know. I'm a 20-year-old. You can't be an alcoholic as a 20-year-old, you know. But it was, I just felt really, really lost, especially in the first couple of weeks after I came home. I stayed at home with my parents to try and they needed to lock me down, because I knew I would go buy alcohol. And so I felt super lost.
You did sometimes.
I still did, yes. But then I started my journey at North Point. I did 4 months, almost 5 months of IOP there. And at first it was really intimidating. But once I started to just hear other people's stories and realize that I'm not in this journey alone, I'm not the only one. And so many people there, what really stuck with me is they told me, they were in their 30s or 40s or older, but they said, this is the best decision that you are ever going to make in your life. Yep. Hands down. So many people said, I wish I did it when I was your age. And that just stuck with me, because it really has been. It's only been a few years, and it's changed my life. So. Yeah.
You had a therapist who helped you find tools to replace, because you would say, when I'm bored, I drink. When I'm anxious, I drink. When I'm depressed, I drink. And so, in fact, you carried this little piece of paper around with you, and you would pull it out to help you with those tools. Can you share some of the tools? And even to today, running obviously was one of those, but what are some of the other tools you have in your life now?
Yeah, my big tool that I got in IOP was, for me that works, is cut the time frame down as little as you need. Take it 1 day at a time. Take it 1 hour at a time. Sometimes you even need to just take it 1 second at a time, and just be proud of yourself that this second I am sober, I am a good me. That was a really big thing, because I was thinking in terms of years, and it was just such a big, just huge time frame. Another thing is a form of meditation has been really good for me. Anxiety correlated a lot with my alcohol use, and being able to just take some time out of your day, center yourself, and just kind of come back to reality and realize, be grateful for the things that I have. So it's called Yoga Nidra. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's been really good for just calming down that anxiety. And then the big thing, like you said, is hobbies. Not being able to, being afraid to try new things. I was a big athlete and jock, but since I've been sober, I actually started knitting hats, which has been kind of neat. And fly fishing. I started actually spending all this time that I would spend drunk on a couch doing things that I cared about. And so just finding those things, and you might not know what those things are, trying new things and just filling that time with constructive stuff.
And you, one of the really helpful tools was we had a team working with you, and our physician was able to put you on naltrexone. You were diagnosed as a blackout. You would often be blackout drunk or binge alcoholic. Sorry.
I enjoyed the blackout.
Yeah, you drank to blackout. You were a binge alcoholic. And naltrexone. Say a little bit about naltrexone, the experience.
Yeah, naltrexone. It's a prescribed drug that was given to me at the beginning, or towards the beginning of my recovery, and I was kind of scared of it. It's a drug. I don't know if I could trust it, but I started taking it, and I will say it has changed my life, because what it really helped me with is in the first 3 months or so, the cravings were so bad, and I just really wanted to go out and drink. And so that helped just like aid with some of the cravings, especially for the beginning part of my recovery. And then once I was able to find all the new tools, then I was able to start doing other things. But and the cravings slowly went away after 8-ish months, but the naltrexone really helped with that.
Will you share your rock bottom?
Yeah, it's basically a month of a rock bottom, but it was soon after I got booted off the football team. I was drinking a lot, and I came home to all my roommates, and I was kind of thinking about like starting recovery, and I had probably 60 handles of vodka, and I was like, I'm throwing it all out, threw it all into the garbage, and my roommates saw it, and they didn't talk to me, but they sent me a text when I was alone down in Berthoud, and they said, we really don't like your habits, and we think it would be best if you moved out of the house. And that was pretty tough, just feeling rejected, especially by these guys. I played on the football team with them. I was really close with them, and just feeling that rejection, and it's because of what I've been doing. It was really tough, and so that weighed on me. I was working at the time, doing like some chainsaw work, and my other rock bottom, a few weeks later, I showed up into work at I think our work started at 7 a.m.
It did.
Really drunk, and drunk enough that my supervisor and coworkers noticed something. They took me to the hospital, and in the hospital, I had a 0.38 blood alcohol, and I don't know even how I drove to work, I was functioning, and by the grace of God, I had an extremely compassionate supervisor, and I didn't lose my job, but if I were him, I would have fired me 10 out of 10 days of the week, so I'm really grateful for that. But just realizing that and feeling that embarrassment and all my coworkers knew that now I have a problem. I showed up to work drunk. It was just tough.
Yeah, and you, we didn't know what to do, Dad and I, and we created a contract. You started 90-90, so you did 90 days of meetings, and one of the recommendations at that time that I made, it was 2 days later, I said, hey, why don't you go to this really cool place downtown called Free and hear a message of hope from another person in recovery named Ryan. And so share a little bit about that experience a couple days after your last relapse.
Yeah, so around my last relapse, I was still feeling pretty lost and kind of hopeless. And so my mom told me, come down here to Free. I was like, whoa, 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 like my whole life I'd been in a church. She's like, go down to another church. I was like, okay. But I came down to Free, and
now, to be honest, you said, will it count as my AA meeting if I don't have to go? And I said, sure.
But so I made the trip down, kind of cautious, and sat somewhere probably way in the back. And the one thing that just really, really stuck with me, and it probably always will, is hearing Ryan stand up here and say, we don't do shame. it was just so powerful because in that moment, I was sitting there in the back with my girlfriend who's been with me through all of this, surprisingly, but and I was filled with so much shame sitting there. And just to hear that was the first time in my recovery process to hear someone say, "We don't do shame." It made me feel I'm not alone. I can do this. And so after the service, I went up to Ryan. I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm Claire's son. I relapsed a couple of days ago." And he didn't blink an eye. He didn't care. He said, "Hey, here's my phone number. Reach out whenever you want." And from that moment, I just kind of started to really understand that this is a community and you're not alone in this journey.
So talk about the will today of March 17th. What is it, March 15th, 2025?
Yeah, life is probably as good as I ever could have seen it. I don't have to hide behind a mask every single day. I can truly walk out into the street and be my true self, not somebody that I thought I was. And it's just, pun intended, it's freeing. Like, I feel free. It's awesome. And I'm getting ready to graduate. I withdrew from classes when I first started my recovery and got back into classes. I'm getting ready to graduate, working on getting to vet school. So everything that I could have imagined, at my very lowest of lows, I was thinking, there's no way, I'm not going to get anywhere, I'm a failure. But just working through that and getting to where I am today, I've just realized that recovery, it's going to be part of my entire life, but it has been the best choice that I've ever made.
Yeah, and you almost have a 4.0 in college. It's pretty remarkable. So about a year ago, I don't know, Will and I were walking, or we were in the middle of something, and I was just treasuring this Will, this healthy, sober, incredible Will. And I said to him, "Can you imagine, if you look back to the Will of before your recovery, where do you think you would even be today?" And do you remember what you said?
Yeah, in that moment, I looked at my mom and kind of reflected on the past few years and said, if I was on the track that I was a few years ago, I don't know if I would still be here today.
Yeah. And so, oh, the places you will go, my dear one. Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Good job.
Thank you, Will. Powerful, dude. Powerful.
Thank you.
Man, one of the most beautiful things, I guess I can take that mic back. One of the most beautiful things I was able to witness tonight, Claire mentioned that Lexi's here, Will's girlfriend, and I saw tears. And I'm making a safe assumption because I checked with her. They were tears of gratitude, tears of joy. And I remember when y'all were here, we talked right here. It was somewhere about 2.5 years ago. And there were tears, but they were not tears of joy and gratitude. They were like tears of fear and unknowing and how the hell is this ever going to end and what's it going to look like, and living proof today of the miracles that we get to be a part of that are in our midst on a daily basis. So thank you so much for sharing with us, Will. The way we close down here on a Saturday night is similar to how we begin. We begin with what we call celebrations, and we close with what we call heartaches. Because what we do sometimes is we have these heartaches, these burdens that we carry, and sometimes we're going to try to act really tough and carry them alone, and then you find out you really suck at carrying them alone. You don't have to do that. It's why we have, look around. It's why we have community. It's why we have a God who hears the cries of the people. So we take 3 minutes for this. If you need some prayer, some uplifting, some encouragement along the way, if you need to just voice this thing out, that's what this time is for. But you do have to be brave enough to take the mic from Colin or Cody. And again, if you're joining us online on Facebook or YouTube, just drop your heartaches there, and we will heartache with you in that place. So let's take 3 minutes. This time is yours.
Hi, my name's Anita, and I just wanted to lift up my friend Michelle, who lost her father last night from cancer. He luckily was able to get home and pass peacefully with loved ones and his pets around him, so just lifting her up today.
I'm Colin. I have two people that are really important to me. Both suffer from suicidal ideation. One identifies as an alcoholic, and one has never had a drink in her life. And it makes me realize I really am truly powerless over others, and it's hard.
Hi, I'm Cody. Let's just all give a prayer to the still suffering addicts still out there that haven't found this recovery group yet.
Hi, this is Cy. I have a client, Julian, whose sister, 36 years, passed away from cancer that she's been struggling with for years. And this week she finally passed away. So a very sad time for that family. So lift up Julian, please.
All right, thank you, Cody and Colin, for passing the mics. Thank you all for sharing. We got to do online. We get to do online heartaches with our online people. Cody, you're joining me again.
Yeah,
Thanks for being up here, dude.
Absolutely.
You want to take the first one?
Sure. Christy Sandberg is saying prayers for healing for Jen's mom, who had another fall. Thankfully, no broken bones, but very sore and bruised.
Yeah, lifting up Jen's mom. Good to see you all tonight. Stacy says, please pray for my twin. She's been struggling again for about a month, and I don't know what to do for her. Prayers for her and prayers for you, Stacy. We're glad you're joining us tonight, lifting you both up and the whole family.
John Reed says, praying for my family as we celebrate my dad's life on Monday. Prayers for you, John.
Yeah, praying for you, buddy. Glad you're joining us tonight. Nicole says, prayers for my daughter, Mackenzie. She was at a complete stop at a red light. She was hit by a drunk driver going 65 miles per hour. She needs prayers for recovery. She is stuck at home in pain, afraid to drive, and unable to work. Oh, my goodness, Nicole, prayers for your daughter and prayers for you. And, man, that's kind of frightening. I'm glad you're joining us tonight, lifting y'all up. All right, Cody, thank you for being up here with me, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, if you call this place your community, if you've been impacted by our mission here, which is breaking the silence of addiction, I want to remind you that we do rely upon your generous giving. People ask all the time, how are you guys funded? How's Free funded? We are funded by you, the people. So your giving makes a big difference here. It is, I try to tell you all every week, thank you for participating and giving. It truly makes a difference here. We can't do it without y'all. And listen, I'm talking to the online people too. I know you all have made, this is your community and you give, and we're so grateful for it. If you want to give, if you want to donate tonight, there's a few different ways you could do it. You can download the app, Free Recovery Community. All of our content is on there. There's a giving button on there. You can do the exact same thing at the website, freerecoverycommunity.com, and you can give one time or weekly or monthly, however you want to do it. We're grateful for all of it. And there are the giving kiosks. One is outside this door. One is outside the back doors. And I have shared with you all the last few weeks that our fun little dip jar, how fun was that thing? It's gone. It's been gone for a couple weeks. We're looking at a new thing. It's called Kind Kiosk. because we need some more fun in the lobby giving area. So I'm going to keep you all in the loop in that. Hopefully we have it soon. And I think it does. Remember how the dip chart lit up when you would give? I think this thing does something similar. We're going to see. Maybe it's going to be way cooler. Who knows? Thank you all for your giving and participating. And again, for some of you who have never stepped foot in this building, but you believe in the mission and it's made a difference to you, we are greatly appreciative and so grateful for you. I got a question. Will and Lexi, do you want to join me up here to close in prayer? You don't have to say anything. You don't have to did you see Lexi's face? I got to pray. You don't, with the prayers on the screen. I just think it'd be powerful to see y'all, just the image of you two doing life together and the support that you've had along the way. You'd love to, he said, we'd love to join you. So all we got to do is, here's what I do, Will. I encourage people to just open up the hands. It's just a simple sign of openness that maybe you're open to a new way tonight. Maybe you're open to the first time ever you're inviting God in on your journey and you're asking for direction, or maybe you're a way ahead in the journey, but you still got all kinds of questions and fears and uncertainties, and it's all okay. It all belongs. So just take a big, deep breath. Yeah, and let it out. What a gift, the gift of breath. If you don't know the St. Francis blessing, it's actually an old ancient Franciscan blessing. It's on your screen. We'll pray it together. It's very simple. It goes like this. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers. Have truths and superficial relationships so that you may live deep within your heart. Amen. Grace and peace to you. See you all next time. Thank you all.